Good morning, Gen Pop. All right. So it has been like forever since I've posted last. Give you the brief Cliff Note version. Got deployed, came back after some medical issues. Medical issues cleared. Went back to work for a little bit, and then retired. Hey, so as far as that goes, I'm currently living the unemployed life after the military. I'm on my way into town to go donate some plasma to hopefully make some money. But yeah, overall, it's been interesting. So pretty much this video is just going to be I guess a mashup of just thoughts. So for those interested or wondering, I spent over 20 years serving in the armed forces, and a lot of people would probably ask, hey, would you do it again? The answer to that would be yes. Would some changes have been made? Yes. Overall, though, I can definitely say with absolute assertion that my time overall, again, was well spent. I made a lot of friends. I got to see a lot of things, went to a lot of different places that normally people would not, and just got to experience life. So for those interested or curious about serving, I would definitely say give it a shot. While I was in, I was able to get 2 college degrees, a professional management certification, and I myself had a lot of, I guess, the best way I could describe it was I was able to assist a lot of people in doing their job while deployed. So that in itself was rewarding. So, as far as it goes, yeah, sorry about the sun, Where was I? All right. So as far as it goes, when it comes down to retirement, some takeaways that I now know that I wish somebody would have told me, or or even I should have done a little bit more research. Once you are actually retired and your retirement date hits, you will not be getting your final paycheck from the military until roughly 20 to 25 days after. So, case in point, I retired New Year's Eve. I didn't receive my final paycheck of January until roughly the 20th, 21st, somewhere around there. So it took about 20 days or so for DFAS to figure things out, review it, make sure I didn't owe the government any money, and then they paid me in full, which was nice. That was BAH, BAS, and then, base pay. Let's see here. Oh, savings. Make sure that you have enough in savings to last, I would say, 3 months. If you don't know how much money that is, go ahead and just jot it down on a little piece of paper. Figure out how much money you make or how much money you take in each month. Case in point, I was an E6. I took in, actual take-home pay, about $6,000 a month. So, in theory, in order to maintain my lifestyle, I should probably have about $18,000 in savings. Now, I do not have that. However, I have enough in savings to last me until my new job takes effect. Which leads me into my next thing. Make sure that you don't wait until the last minute to start looking for employment. I would say those last couple months, probably last 6 months of actual service, if you haven't already done so, put in applications. I'm not saying shotgun them out, but figure out before that time frame what you want to do. Do you want to do something administratively? Do you want to do something in the medical field? Do you want to do a 9 to 5, data entry? Do you want to work at Lowe's? There's nothing wrong with that. All right? But start going through the process, figure out what you want to do, hone your resume to that particular field, and then start putting them out there. In my experience, or in my case, I was on SkillBridge the last 4 months of my enlistment. During that time frame, I put in no less than 25 resumes, and I received 4 essentially 4 callbacks, 4 interviews, whatnot. Okay, it probably wasn't smart on my end because it was during the end of year, so holidays came. Everybody was doing shutdowns as far as companies go, waiting for this year's budgets to come to light. So again, not an ideal situation, but I took it with a grain of salt. I maintained, and here we are now. Let's see here. VA disabilities. So for your VA disabilities, definitely start that stuff well in advance. All right? So start gathering medical documentation, start gathering anything else. If your base happens to have, like at their MFRC, Military Family Readiness Center, or whatever the case is, look there. You may actually have some Department of Veterans Affairs, not coordinators, but they will help with your compensation and your CP exams, basically. Okay, so I was able to get helped out by a gentleman who was also a veteran. He served, and so he was able to take all of my documentation, and then in about the course of an hour, we were able to knock it out. I'm still working through some of my examinations for the VA to get my rating, but I'm at least closer than I would have been had I not taken those steps. Yeah, so that's that. Otherwise, the big thing I can say is once you are retired, try to fill your days with things that you can do. They don't have to be big tasks. They can be menial tasks, but you have to keep yourself occupied. Okay? Coming from a job where I got up before the sun did, and I wouldn't be home until around 3 in the afternoon, I did a lot of things. All right? So, getting up, picking up around the house, finding those odds and end chores that that can fill your day that you can handle. Even so, doing a puzzle, something like that. That way your mind is still active and you're not just doldrum trying to figure out what to do with your life, especially if you do not have employment at that time. All right. I know that's the best thing that helped me, and it definitely, it seems to work. Other than that, things are going fairly well. Can't really complain. Like I said, I'm just waiting on my new employer to finalize some paperwork, give me the thumbs up to start, which will definitely be interesting. It'll be a new adventure in life. I also have another potential employer that is working on a hiring package for me. So ideally, I've got a two front attack. With that being said, going back to the money thing, for your resumes and your jobs, your employment, don't sell yourselves short. All right? Think of all the schooling, all of the experience, life, and vocational. Think of all the things you've done during your service, and then put that in, or just try to be able to counter any sort of offer they give you. Now, keep in mind, if you're going for a job where you're an x-ray tech, okay, and if you're coming from the motor pool, pretty sure you don't have any sort of understanding what that piece of equipment does or how to operate it. Now, I'm not saying you don't, but if you have zero clue how to operate it, and they come back with a lower than expected offer, don't try to counter with the high end. All right? But for example, data entry or administrative work, you could probably get away with countering, and there's nothing wrong with that. All right? Again, just advocate for yourself. All right? You're the only person that's going to be looking out for you. Yeah. Other than that, things are going good. Can't really complain too much. No real gripes. Well, nothing that can really change. Other than that, hopefully I'll be posting some more. If nothing else, posting some new builds just around the garage and trying to clean that up. So yeah, if you do like my videos, please go ahead and follow. Like I said, I don't do them very often, but when I do, I try to at least make them informative. And if you have any comments, leave them down below.